Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's another cooking basics. I have some canned chicken here. I have some sliced carrots and then some rice. Easy, inexpensive ingredients for a delicious dinner. So I'm using the water of my veg to cook my rice. Sometimes I use it for this, or sometimes I make a gravy out of it. I will put it in the fridge in a jar until I'm ready to use it. And yes, I do rinse my rice. I do wash my rice. I've already had it soaking in a bowl, and now I'm just rinsing it off again. So into my pot, adding a few spices that will help add flavor to my rice. So now with my canned chicken, I'm actually going to reserve the broth off of that, and I'm going to make my gravy out of it later on. So I'm just putting that to the side, and then into my bowl, I'm going to add my chicken, and I'm going to start breaking it up. So to my chicken, I'm going to add some veggies from the garden. I have a red onion, and then I have some peppers that I sliced up and was in the freezer. So I'm going to get those chopped up, and we are going to add them to the chicken. Now, I'm not going to add them raw. I'm actually going to saute them. And I pulled out a lemon basil block that I had in my freezer. And we're going to saute them all up together so they will cook all at the same time with the chicken that's already cooked. So again, just adding my typical spices, that garlic herb seasoning. I just put just about everything that is a savory dish. So I just clipped off a few sprigs of fresh parsley that I bought in from the garden. And we're going to put that in as well. So I added my sauteed veggies into the chicken, and now I'm breaking it up. And all these veggies that I'm using today are from my garden. The basil, the onions, the peppers, everything is from my garden that I preserved in one form or another to use for later dishes. And this happens to be one of them. So now that I've got all my chicken pretty much broken up and I've got my sauteed vegetables all mixed in, I'm actually going to add some spices. Who would have thought? Some salt, some garlic. I'm going to add some onion as well. Even though I have onions in there, I'm going to add a little bit more. And then I'm going to add my binders because I'm going to make these into patties. The first thing I'm going to add in is an egg. And I've used water glass eggs. Today I'm using a fresh egg. I just happen to have that in my fridge. So I'm going to get that mixed in. And you could have mixed it up before I put it in here, but just plop it in and get it in there. And I'm going to use a tablespoon of cornstarch. I want to kind of stiffen them up. And somebody suggested, actually Ashley from Martin Midlife Misadventure, when I made potato cakes, wondered if I can use cornstarch instead. So I'm going to try it out and see how it goes. And then I'm going to add a little bit of cheese. What? Why? Why not? Because it will help melt and bind everything together. And then eventually I'm going to add just some plain breadcrumbs. I was looking for some panko breadcrumbs or even Italian breadcrumbs. That would add a nice flavor to them as well, but I didn't have any. But if you don't have it, this French fried onion, or in my case, this is a onion soup mix, which I put in the same container. Either one will work. So I'm going to get these all mixed up together. And then with my hens that I just washed, I'm going to make them into patties. And you can make them as big or as small as you like. I'm just browning these and warming them through because pretty much everything's cooked. The chicken is cooked. The veggies I sauteed, so they're cooked. I'm just putting a little bit of color on the outside of these and warming them through. And that's it. I'm going to see how many I can get out of this. So I was able to get 7 fairly decent sized patties out of that 12.5 ounce can of chicken. Okay, so this is the same pan I sauteed those onions in and peppers, and I'm just going to start frying these up. And that's the leftover lard in the pan from frying the veggies. I didn't add any extra lard, and that's the leaf lard I rendered a couple of weeks ago. So now I'm just going to make a chicken gravy to go over the chicken, patties, and the rice. And this is just some of the leaf lard and some all-purpose flour. And then I'm going to add the broth from the chicken that I reserved back in here. That adds flavor. And here is dinner. This was quick and easy. The longest thing to cook was the rice, so I started with that first. So once the rice was cooked, everything else was ready, and I was able to get it on the dinner table. Quick and easy, and a great weeknight meal if you don't have a lot of time. The longest thing was the rice, so start that first. Cooking basics with simple ingredients that can be really good and filling, and you don't have to break the bank to do it. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. God bless, and remember, stay safe and keep prepping.